Guys, welcome back to the channel, where we like to review stories that beautiful people like yourselves post on the internet. We got a couple of stories for you today. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for wanting to keep an expensive birthday gift that makes my boyfriend uncomfortable? I, female, just turned 25, have a friend, Logan, male 25, and we've been friends since we were 7 and 8. I have a boyfriend, Matt, who I've been dating for 7 months. My birthday was last week, and I had a dinner party for some friends before we all went out for a club. There was 8 of us, including Logan and Matt. We had a little bit of a gift opening before dessert, and Logan gifted me an old copy of The Great Gatsby. The book has a special significance to us, because for many years, Logan and I lived in different countries. We kept in contact, but we didn't see each other in person for about 4 years. We finally got our parents to agree for me to fly to his country to visit in 2013. We were talking about what we were going to do on the visit, and I really wanted to go and see The Great Gatsby movie, which had just come out, as it is my favorite book. Logan had never even heard of it, and I said he had to read it before we went to see the movie. Logan was never academic, and to this day, it is the only fiction book he's ever read all the way through. Not counting children's books. Whenever I ask him to do me a favor, he always replies with, "I read The Great Gatsby for you, so I may as well." And it's a running joke. We always go big on birthdays, but this book means so much to me. The day after, Matt said he felt the book was an inappropriate gift because of how expensive it is. I tried to explain to him that it's just a sentimental gift and that the cost isn't the point. But Matt said he feels weird that another man gifted me something that costs more than his car. This argument went on for a long time, and Matt said that he thinks I should return the book, and if it means so much to both of us, then Logan can keep it. I told him to grow up. We've been having this fight on and off for a week. Matt's saying that it's reasonable for him to be uncomfortable, but I think he's being a jealous child. It's not like Logan gave me a giant diamond necklace just to show off. He gave me something heartfelt that means the world to me. And I think that should be more important than the fact that Matt thinks it's outside of what he deems an acceptable budget. My mother is saying to give Matt the benefit of the doubt and maybe ask Logan to keep the book for now. And if one day Matt is more secure, I can take it back. My dad is saying Matt's an idiot. My girlfriends are split. This argument is just dragging on, and I'm leaving for my birthday trip tomorrow, and I just need some perspective on whether I'm being unreasonable wanting to keep the book. Edit. For everyone asking about the book, it is a 1925 edition, well known to be fairly rare. The prices vary, but it's Googleable if you really want to know. There are a range of prices and it's somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to say the exact amount. For everyone asking why I'm not dating Logan or why I never did, I explained this in detail in several comments, but this is the most comprehensive and reflective one, I think. There was a YouTube segment of Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke having tea together, and Olivia said to her, "What's your favorite item in your wardrobe?" or something similar, and she said, "A beautiful Chanel cardigan that I really love, but have never worn because it just doesn't suit me." And it just reminded me of that. It's not that I don't absolutely adore Logan. I do. I can unreservedly say he's my favorite person in the whole world. But if you ask me why I'm not in a relationship with him, I don't have a concrete answer. Because there's nothing about him I don't like, but it just never happened. And I think he would say the same thing. When I think of the way he was with his ex, and the ones I've had, including Matt, I don't see us being that way or those people for each other. Your dad is a smart man. Listen to him. Logan gave you a gift that holds sentimental significance to both of you. If I had a girlfriend who had given it to you, Matt wouldn't care. He cares only because he's jealous. Not the a-hole. Keep the book. And to put a little perspective on how Matt needs to stay in his own lane, you've known or been with Matt for 7 months. Logan has been your friend for 204 months. Logan is a long-term friend. Matt has been in your life for a hot minute. Edited to add. Please secure the book. Matt may destroy it, hide it, or even sell it. And maybe you should break up with Matt. Per your mother, he's insecure. ESH. If this is the first time he spent this much money on you, it's a blatant power move by Logan to make Matt feel insecure and humiliate him in front of your friends. Combined with a big romantic gesture, it simultaneously say, look how much money I'm willing to spend on OP, and look how much closer OP and I are than you are with OP. If it was about the sentiment, it didn't have to be a super old copy of the book. Matt is being insecure and trying to make you return the book as a proxy for seeking assurance you don't reciprocate Logan's romantic feelings. He's not being clear about how he really feels, and he's interpreting your refusal to return the book as a sign that you have feelings for Logan. You're also an a-hole for making this about just the book and not giving Matt any reassurances about you and Logan. Yes, he's being insecure, but imagine how you would feel if a close longtime female friend of Matt gave him an overly generous gift in a similar way. Are you telling us you wouldn't feel threatened in the same way? You don't have to return the book to give Matt appropriate assurance, and if Logan is a true friend and there's no romantic feelings on his part, he would understand and feel bad for making Matt feel bad. You're the a-hole. You don't have to be reasonably or unreasonably concerned. You just have to be concerned. Maybe there are valid reasons for him to be concerned. Maybe there are invalid reasons. That's not the point. The point is that he's feeling insecure, and the book itself is not the issue. Clearly the issue is that he feels threatened by Gatsby Dude, so keeping or returning the book will not solve anything. You need to communicate that you love him, you are in love with him, you are his, and that your friendly connection to Gatsby Dude is just that. As to whether or not it is reasonable, again, it doesn't matter. But if it does, the dude spent tons of money on a super expensive gift. Gift is about a dude that spends money in hopes of attracting the one that got away. So by pretending it is a harmless gift and that there is nothing sinister about it, is only feeding his suspicions, even making you look dishonest. So I got some requests for an update, and I did say I'd try to post one, so here it is. Coming to you from a Mediterranean island that has been very unkind to my waistline. I just want to first say a huge thank you for all the responses. Internet strangers get a bad rap, but I really appreciate all the advice. So, first update. Matt and I broke up. He didn't end up coming on my birthday trip, but we were kind of talking on and off, and he sent me a text that dropped the L-bomb. And I didn't respond in kind. That was the last straw for him. Now that I think about it, that was the next hurdle that was coming. This just brought it forward, I guess. He'll be picking his things up over the weekend. I would like us to stay friends. I still like him so much, but I know that's not really up to me now. I told my mom about the breakup, and she apologized for making me feel like I was in the wrong about keeping the book. She said she was just so used to seeing me treat men as disposable, and because I'd been with Matt for so long, she thought maybe he might not be, and she got too caught up in that. I think hearing that I wasn't even ready to say I love him was a shock to her, and she realized she'd been telling herself a story about him and me that wasn't what was playing out. Onto me and Logan. Obviously, a whole wealth of opinions and advice was shared about our friendship, and honestly going through the comments in the post was the first time I had really ever thought that deeply about our relationship. It brought up a lot of memories and feelings, and I did end up talking to Logan about it and telling him about the original post. I ended up making a note of some people's questions and asking him. I really wish I could include all his answers here, because I think his responses were pretty funny. That said, word limit, so I'll keep the answers short. Logan did not buy the book as a way to express romantic interest, and the plot was not relevant to his choice to purchase it. Logan has never wanted to date me. Feelings are complicated. Obviously, there was more we talked about, but I will just leave you with another metaphor. Since the cardigan one was such a hit, sometimes a thin gold chain will sit in your jewelry box for a decade, and over the years it'll tangle, and the knot will be so inextricable you can't tell where the chain ends or begins. It would take a long time to pick that apart. Some people get out their magnifying glass and a good lamp and work until the chain is good as new, and some people might decide to just put it back in the box before they break it. We're trying to be the first, but the second might end up being okay. We'll see. I think that's everything. Thank you to everyone who responded. I laughed, I cried, I had an existential crisis. It was a wild ride. You're the a-hole. Imagine a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend, mostly happy. They're seeing each other for a while now, but there's this one woman, his best friend. They go on holidays together. They have movie nights together, and girlfriend gets really uncomfortable. But boyfriend says, "Hey, you're just being silly and insecure. This is my best friend." Then his birthday comes, and his best friend gets him a Mustang. Girlfriend flips, but boyfriend and other friends say, "Get over yourself, you're just jealous." I wonder what all stay-at-home moms would have to say to this, and if OP was still not the a-hole with reverse roles. Poor Logan. Feelings are complicated? It might not be the most popular opinion, but good on Matt. He dodged a laser-guided missile. It would not have worked long-term for either of you. I still can't ignore the fact that the book was The Great Gatsby, and it's all about an unrequited love too. It is Gatsby equal Logan, Tom equal Matt, and Daisy equal OP. You're the a-hole. You treat your partners as disposable because you have romantic feelings for Logan. Stop playing with other people's feelings when you know you won't have feelings for them. Logan definitely wants to date you. No one would spend such a ridiculous amount of money on a friend. Be real. Also, saying "I love you" after more than half a year of dating is not anything weird. Unless, of course, you love someone else, aka Logan. Again, don't date people you know you won't love just because you're afraid to face your real feelings for Logan. It's not fair to them. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to be an a-hole to the like button, when you see that they are pleasantly relaxing in their backyard, make sure to fly your drone dangerously close to them to annoy the hell out of them. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she would have been a terrible mother? I, 17 male, have 2 sisters, Alice, 29, and Miranda, 33. I am much closer to Alice than I am to Miranda. Miranda is also not on good terms with our parents. Alice has 4 kids and is currently expecting child number 5, while Miranda can have children, which her ex divorced her for. Miranda is very successful in life. She has a nice apartment, works a good job, and earns a decent amount of money. Alice, on the other hand, is struggling financially. She had her first kid right out of high school and got pregnant with her second child soon after. So she decided to become a stay-at-home mom to her children while her boyfriend provides for them. Me and my parents try to help them out as much as possible, be it childcare or money, whatever she needs. I love my nieces and nephews. I take them to the park and play with the older ones. I really enjoy it. Miranda doesn't help out with them. She says it's because she's too busy. Well, she works long hours, but she doesn't have kids, so I don't know what she does on weekends. She also doesn't help out financially, which I find unfair, since she makes so much money and all she does is spend it on herself. Although she does give us very nice gifts for Christmas and birthdays. My parents nag her about it, saying she should give some of her money to Alice monthly, and I agree with that. So here comes the part where I may have been the a-hole. I was at Miranda's place last week, as she baked muffins and invited me over to eat some and catch up. We got on the topic of Christmas presents, and I told her some of the stuff I wanted. She nodded and said she would give our parents a coupon for a much-needed vacation and Alice some clothes she had mentioned, and also some new boots and jackets for the kids. I was a little stunned she didn't have more for Alice, so I asked, "Why do you only get Alice the bare minimum? You can afford to help her out more, and you refuse to do it out of spite." Miranda looked at me and laughed. She said it wasn't her business to feed 6 people, that Alice was old enough to make her choices and live with the consequences. She knew what she was getting herself into, and that she wouldn't pay Alice's way through life just because she kept having children she couldn't afford. I was stunned at how cold she reacted. I asked her how she could live with her life being so selfish and uncaring, and she got angry and told me, "Listen kid, there are some things you are way too young to be discussing with me, and this is one of those. Drop the subject or get out." I got really frustrated with her and said something I probably shouldn't have. I told her, quote, "No wonder your husband divorced you. Even if you could have children, you would be a terrible mother," end quote. Miranda got very quiet and told me to leave and never come back. She has now blocked me on everything, and though I don't agree with her not helping out, I'm starting to feel guilty for what I said. So, am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. Your parents are also a-holes. Your sister Alice is also an a-hole. Just because Miranda can't afford to take care of Alice's children Just because Miranda can't afford to take care of Alice's children doesn't mean it's her responsibility. Who are you to need to understand what Miranda does on the weekends or what she spends her earrings on? It's not fair. Miranda's right. Alice is old enough to understand how to use condoms. If she's struggling with money at the third kid, then struggling more at the fourth, then why the hell did she get pregnant with a fifth? There's the selfish sibling for you, and it's not Miranda. Wakey wakey. Alice is the one who seems to expect the rest of the world has to provide for the kids she keeps irresponsibly having. By the way, you are not just cruel for what you said. You're also entitled and childish. You made an active decision to help Alice and her kids. Either you do so selflessly or you choose to stop. But you don't cry about that's not fair when someone else makes a different choice than you with their own time and money. You're the a-hole and a very condescending as well. Well, she works long hours but she doesn't have kids, so I don't know what she does on weekends. She also doesn't help out financially, which I find unfair, since she makes so much money. On weekends, she probably has a wonderful time doing hobbies, spending time with friends, or just vegging and watching TV. What she's not doing is wiping little noses, changing diapers, listening to temper tantrums, cleaning up messes, or mediating childish spats. Some people enjoy that and some don't. Her life sounds admirable and pleasant. Alice, on the other hand, has 5 kids, no career, isn't even married, and struggles financially. My guess is Miranda doesn't want to waste a lot of her hard-earned money on Alice, who shows no signs of improving her lot in life or becoming stable and independent. Wow, so not only do you all feel entitled to Miranda's money, you feel that when she very reasonably points out that she shouldn't have to pay for someone who keeps having children they can't afford, it is appropriate for you to go nuclear on her and bring up her divorce and infertility? You are the biggest a-hole. Can you imagine going through a divorce because you are suffering from infertility, only to have your teenage brother weaponize those traumas against you because you aren't paying the way for a family of 6? I cannot stress this enough. She doesn't owe anyone anything, least of all a bunch of entitled family members blissfully ignorant to what she may be going through. Giant, you're the a-hole. Giant. So, it's been a while, and I know I haven't answered any comments because I was too ashamed, and I still am. When my parents and sister found out what I said to Miranda, they were absolutely furious. Alice shouted at me so long my ears were ringing. She looked like she was about to rip my head off. You were right. My sisters had a whole life before I came along, and I was too immature to understand the dynamics between them. When I look at my post, I am disgusted about my tone and what I assumed was the truth. Because not only was I an absolute a-hole, I was also terribly wrong about a lot of things. Alice never asked for money nor childcare. My parents did that willingly, and as I was raised alongside them, they felt more like siblings to me, so I didn't mind. My family also never painted Miranda as the big villain. That was all just me. Because she was already grown and out of the house most of the time when I was little. I just didn't have a deeper connection with her. Maybe I was resentful that she was never there. I can't tell. My parents also didn't really pester Miranda that she should give money to Alice. They only asked her to chip in for bigger presents, which she always did. I was blinded by my love and concern for Alice that I vilified Miranda. I apologized 100 times to Miranda. I wrote her letters, tried calling, went to her apartment, but she wouldn't see me or answer my letters, and she is in her right to do so. I hurt her deeply, and she doesn't owe me forgiveness. But the reason I made this update in the first place is some, hopefully, good news for you. Miranda has since moved away with her ex. I don't have the whole picture, but they are still very much in love. When his family found out that Miranda was infertile, they pestered them to no end, and their marriage didn't withstand that. It was really horrible, which I never knew. My parents said Miranda didn't want me to know the truth, but now they are in another country. I hope they can be happy again. Also, please don't hate on Alice. She's a wonderful person and a very good mother to all of her kids. Her third pregnancy were twins, which they didn't expect, and her boyfriend had a vasectomy, but they ended up pregnant regardless with baby number 5, which has been born in the meantime. Her boyfriend has also gotten a promotion at work, and they can now live more comfortably. I know I am in the wrong, and that I have a lot of growing to do. I deserve everything you said in the comments. Maybe one day, I can have a relationship with Miranda again, but on her terms. If you want to know anything else, let me know. I promise to answer to as many comments as I can. Frankly, you got everything you deserved here, and I don't blame Miranda in the slightest for wanting nothing to do with you anymore as a relative. I recently gave birth to my first child, and I nearly lost him. In the end, we both pulled through. A week after I completely cut one of my closest cousins in my life for flippantly saying that the fact you had so many complications, including a brief bout with cancer, means God likely doesn't want you to become a mother. She's done so much of the same as you have. Written letters, sent emails, called from a new number, and tried countless times to reach out. I burn every letter she sends me. I delete every email. I don't return any calls, and I don't read any text she sends, and have since blocked her again. The majority of my family and my husband's family have also completely cut her off. Both of these instances, people showed just how truly disgusting they were. At least the rest of your family actually loves and cares about Miranda, because you clearly don't. OP, I'm happy you learned a tough lesson here, and I would absolutely continue to do more work on yourself about the underlying misogyny of your original post. For a teenage dude with no real life experience, making judgments on adult women, you had a lot of wild assumptions about women and their value that you absolutely need to address. You also probably have a lot of family trauma to unpack, given your parents' entitlement that bled into yours, and the fact that your sister was a teen mom who keeps having kids she can't afford. Do some digging about how your family has normalized dysfunction and irresponsibility so you don't fall into the same trap. I sure do love it when people learn from their experiences. I hope you're proud of yourself and how you were able to explore all avenues and look at the larger picture. That's really hard to do. I hope Miranda can someday see the shift in your outlook and view and create a relationship with you. One of the healthiest ways to grow is to make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes. See how we'd like to do things differently next time. I'm sorry your relationship with Miranda has struggled through this, but I do hope you are proud of yourself and the growth. Guys, that was it for today's stories. Thank you very much for listening. Please remember to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel to keep listening to these stories. Thank you very much for your support, guys. We will be seeing you in the next one.